Hello, everyone. This is Candace, the Preventionista, and welcome to episode 5, where we'll be talking about mental health and healthy eating. I'm joined us further with Angela Walters. Hello, Angela.
Hello.
How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm doing well too. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Can you tell us about yourself?
Of course, I'm Angela Walters, but I'm also known as Herbalist Luna, and I'm the owner of Skin Side Out Botanicals. And our main focus is digestive health because our digestive system governs our overall health. Started the company in 2018 because of my own health.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get started to the first question. When and how did you begin your healthy eating journey?
Well, I'll say that my journey probably started at birth. I was born on a farm. I lived that good country life. We grew all our own food, had livestock, and I've carried that with me, throughout the years. Of course, when you get to be an adult and you start eating out and
other
stuff, but I've never stopped eating or wanting or trying to be as healthy as I possibly could. So it's always been in me. I guess it was born in me because my family was the same way.
You said your family got you started, and so what keeps you going?
I would say what keeps me going is I want to be the healthiest that I possibly can be. I wanted to see what kind of changes that I could make for myself at the age that I am now from when I was younger. You get older and you have a few aches and pains and you've been through some stuff and, you worked it out and you keep going. But I've watched my parents, be ill. And you watch your loved ones pass away from things that people tell you, oh, well, it was inherited or it's in your genes or there was nothing that we could do about it. And I've learned over the years that there's a lot that we can do about it.
Right.
It's all about your lifestyle and how you treat your body and how you develop your mind to think outside of what you were taught.
Yeah.
I wanted to also be able to teach my grandchildren a different way. I've taught my kids. My kids are all gardeners, or, they grow flowers and herbs, whatever it is they might want to grow. But now it's time for my grandchildren to learn some of those things. I have 3 grandsons and a granddaughter, and I want to be able to pass those things on to them so that they can be self-sustainable.
That's awesome. I follow you on social media, and I saw that you were doing a 60+ day juicing, of just juicing. Can you talk about that more, or can you tell me about it? What made you do it, or how'd you do it?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, it didn't start out that way. It started out with me saying, I'm already an intermittent faster. So I would do a 16-hour no eating and eat within the 8-hour window, or either a 20-hour no eating and eat in a 4-hour window. But when I started this fast that just kind of happened, I was going for more of a 23-hour fast with a 1-hour eating window, which was something that I'd never done. And when I got to that 23rd hour, I wasn't hungry. And my fast was all liquids. So it wasn't like I was water fasting. I've never tried to water fast. So I'm not sure if I could water fast and work the job that I work for my 9 to 5 on a water fast. So I knew that I could do it on a liquid fast. So actually came about when I got to that 1 hour where I said, okay, I'm going to eat something now. And I wasn't hungry. I said, okay, well, I'll just do a 2-day fast and I'll go from there. I said, okay, I won't go as long. I'll do a 16 and then I'll take that 8-hour window to eat. When I got to that 8-hour window and I have my water, my juice, maybe a smoothie, and I get home and it's time to like have a meal, I didn't want the meal. So I said, okay, this is what I'll do. I will make soups and blend them so that way I'm not chewing. So I'm not actually eating. I'm giving my digestive system an opportunity to rest because there's nothing in there for it to digest. Everything is liquid. And it just went from there. I didn't plan to do 63 days either. I was going to do like 2 weeks. But after that 2-week period, I felt so good and I had so much energy that I was like, okay, I'm going to just see how long I can actually do this. And I made my soups and my smoothies and my juice. And I even had days that I probably just had smoothies and nothing warm. And I'm a warm food person. People do raw, and I don't know how, because I like to have something warm in my stomach at least once a day. So that's actually what it came to be. Me having this juice and water, a smoothie, and then I had my warm in the evening as my meal. That was my dinner. And I went to like day 45 and I said, wow, I'm at 45 days. And I decided, well, I've been weighing here and there and I know I've lost a few pounds, but I could tell that my digestive system was changing, that my skin was changing. I felt like I had a lot of energy. My hair was growing faster than I actually wanted it to. So when I got to 60 days, I said, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna do 3 more days because I was born in 1963.
Oh, that was your motivation.
That's how I got to 63 days.
Oh, okay. Wow. And you made it with no problem.
It wasn't anything that, was magical or it had a real reference to. It was like, okay, I was born I'm at 60 days now. Do you stop at 60 or what do you do? I said, well, I was born in 1963. Let me go ahead and knock these other 3 days out.
When we talk about mental health, I know we look at the aspects of, healthy eating affecting our mental health, but that's a whole mental health in itself to stay with it. So kudos to you.
You're right. And I didn't know if I could, but I wanted to challenge myself to do it. Just being able to do the intermittent fasting for 16 hours with no food and 8 hours, with the eating window, I had to work my way up to that. So I've been working on it since probably 2014.
Okay.
So, it's not something that you can do overnight. And when I talk to people about fasting, that's the first thing they say, oh, I can't go without food. You can definitely go without food.
Right. Yeah.
They don't understand that you're already fasting. When you're asleep, you're fasting. Just give it a few more hours and then start to eat. When you're asleep, your body is repairing itself. Your mind is relaxing and your brain cells are growing. All the cells in your body are regenerating. while you're asleep. When you don't eat, all the cells in your body are regenerating.
And I think that's why it's so important to, when you first wake up, to, if you do eat something not like donuts or, something crazy.
Right. You're so right. You should always start your morning with water. You start your morning with water, some lemon or some lime, and it helps to clear the mucus out of your body, from your cells, from your nasal passages, and especially if you put some cayenne in there. If you put some cayenne pepper or some ginger in that water, it helps you to slowly become mucus free.
Oh, nice.
You know how when you wake up in the morning, you have the little crust in your eyes, or you have the little mucus in? Once I stopped eating meat and dairy and eggs and cheese and the things that I actually cut out of my diet, I wake up in the morning, I'm mucus free. There's no cold in my eyes. There's nothing.
Wow.
Now, when I eat something that causes it, like if I have, like I had some bread today, when I wake up in the morning, I'm probably going to have a little bit because I ate the bread. You'll be amazed that once you eliminate some things and then you put them back in, you'll see how they affect your body.
So from personal experience, I know healthy eating can be a mental struggle. Do you receive requests at all for help, or like you to guide them?
I do. I do get some requests. And I find that a lot of people want a quick fix, and I have to tell them there's no quick fix. There's no easy button to push, and you have to know your why. You have to determine your why you want to do this. And I tell most people to keep a journal and take baby steps. Don't try to go all in at one time, because going all in at one time can make you feel defeated if you have what some people call, man, I slipped up, man, I ate some chips. And okay, you ate some chips, but you start over. Don't quit.
Right.
You can just eat everything. So you take baby steps, keep a journal, but you need to know why you are doing this. Just like you asked me, why do you do it? Well, I want to be healthy. I want to see how long I can live. Can I make 150?
Right.
I might be able to do that, but if I don't try it, I'll never know. And I also feel like you have to surround yourself with the right people for what you want to do. It's like being a drug addict. Food is a drug. And if you're trying to eat healthy and your mate or your friends or your coworkers are not trying to do the same thing, it can be hard for a person. You have to be determined about what you want to do for yourself, and not trying to please everybody else and let them tell you, oh, just what's wrong with you? Just a little bit. It ain't gonna hurt. Yes, it will. Yes, it will, because I'll continue to look like this, or either I'll start looking like you. Most people ask me about recipes and, what to eat. And I have to tell them, what to eat is not difficult. Whatever you're already eating, eat, and cut back on what you're eating, or start to eliminate what you don't want to eat slowly, so that you give yourself time. I'll say that in 2013, I decided that I was going to make a change, and I had to, figure out for myself, how am I going to make this change? What am I actually going to do? So in 2013, I slowly started to stop eating meat. I got to a point where by the end of the year, I was just having fish. I was just eating fish and everything else that I ate. And then the next year came along. You know what? So my grandson came to me in December of 2013, and he says, Abuela, I stopped eating meat. I said, well, you stopped eating meat a long time ago. Like, for real, you know, I know that you still eat, you like your seafood. He said, nope, I let the seafood go too. I said, are you serious? He said, yeah. He said, I'm serious. He says, why don't you do it with me? I said, well, I've been thinking about it, so I'll do it with you. So by the 1st of January of 2014, I had stopped eating meat. I had already decided I was going to cut out as much bread as I possibly could, although I love warm bread.
Right.
Cheese, and I love cheese.
I know.
I love all the cheeses. Like, if I could live in France where they have all the cheese, I would have been in heaven.
Yeah.
I would have been in heaven. And then eggs. And once I let eggs go, I could feel the change in my body. I could feel like not as tired. I don't know if it's the word is tired. Maybe not as, you know how sometimes you go to bed and you think you slept. I sleep.
Right. Yeah.
Morning, like I didn't get enough rest. But you've been in the bed for 8 hours. Like, what kind of fight was I in my dream? So once I did cut some of those things out, I could feel I was feeling better. I could feel my energy go up.
Yeah.
My energy level go up. And I determined that I wasn't drinking enough water, and the water that I was drinking, my body was not absorbing.
Whoa, hold on now. You got to talk about that one.
My body was not absorbing the water to replenish my cells, to give me the life that I needed to have to go through the day, because I had yeast and parasites that I hadn't taken care of.
So what kind of water? Was it like a certain type of water?
No, just, if you drink spring water out the bottle, or you drink reverse osmosis water, or drink alkaline water, or I never drink tap water because you never know what's in the tap. I'm afraid of it. But my body just, which all of those waters are good waters. And then I realized that because I was never one to have like yeast infections. So it wasn't that type of thing, but it was yeast in my digestive system that wasn't allowing me to process my food or absorb the water that I was drinking. Like, you know how sometimes you drink water and 15 minutes later you got to go to the bathroom.
Right.
Okay, so your body's not absorbing the water.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my body. So if my body digestive system was not absorbing the water, of course my brain was not absorbing the water, which leaves you in a foggy place. I forgot where I put my keys. Well, it's not dementia. That's because you got other things going on in your body.
They harp on drinking 64 ounces of water a day, but they don't go into all this other stuff, because you can drink all the water you want, but if it's not really absorbing in your body, it's kind of like pointless.
Right. And if you drink the water and you urinate and the water is still clear, just like you drank it, it's just going straight through you. That can also tell you that your kidneys are not filtering the way that they're supposed to. Well, your kidneys are not going to filter the way they're supposed to because of the yeast and the parasites in your body. Everybody needs to do a cleanse at least 3 to 4 times a year. It's just like the seasons change.
Yeah.
You should do a cleanse.
Oh, that's a good one. And this is all about researching too. You gotta look online. Yeah.
True. Because when I was doing the liquid fast, I also incorporated cleanse within that. And I did that cleanse in capsule form. It worked. At the beginning of this year, I took those same herbs and I did them in tea form. A tea hit way different than a capsule. Like the body takes it on in a different way. So with that, I'm saying it depends on what degree you're ready to do that cleanse. Most people that come to me, I tell them to start it off in capsules, start off slow. And when you're ready to go another route, I'll put those herbs together for you in a tea, and you can do it that way, and you'll get a higher level of cleanse.
Asked about, what do you think about, this is kind of off questions, but the 80-20, do you believe in that? Like, they say, eat good 80 and be had 20%, because you don't want to deprive yourself.
Well, I found a way not to deprive myself.
Okay.
A way not to deprive yourself is to be one that is willing to prepare your own food.
Yeah.
I've always been one to love sweets, cookies and cakes, pies, and baklava, and I've learned what I've learned from some people who are vegan pastry chefs, I guess you would call them.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned to make my baked goods now. I can bake my own bread. I can bake my own cakes, my own pies, pie crust, without using eggs and some sugar substitute. And people be like, oh man, I don't like the sugar substitute. It's not gonna take. Sometimes you can't even tell.
Right? Oh, okay.
You don't even know that it's not real sugar.
Wow.
You don't know that there are no eggs in that banana bread that I just gave you. Be willing to prepare your own foods and experiment with baking those things that you love in a different way. My daughter sends me pictures every weekend where she's made vegan cinnamon rolls and vegan donuts and
wow,
vegan donuts. If you buy a dozen of vegan donuts cost me $25 the first time I bought vegan donuts, and they were good, but it wasn't worth me spending $25 every time I want a donut.
Yeah. And the thing is, with those healthy, they charge a lot of money, and you're still not quite sure what's going in it. What's in the ingredients.
Because you can make it yourself.
Right.
Right. I totally agree. So yeah, I enjoy cooking, and I've learned to use a lot of different spices that I didn't know anything about, growing up as a kid, and even into my young adult ages. I'm going to say I was probably 30 when I found out about using cardamom and berber and sumac. Like, those are Ethiopian spices. Like,
right.
Ta-da! Like, I never knew anything about them, but when you put them in your food, oh my, they're so good. They are really, really good.
More of the story is make your own food.
Make your own food. Make your own food. And it's when people are asking me, well, what do I eat? I have to ask them, well, what do you eat now already? So if you're going to tell me that, well, I like green beans, and, I'll eat corn and rice, and okay, well, that's your meal. Just build upon that. If someone's trying to cut back on meat or get off of meat, eat more vegetables than you normally would, but still have that little piece of meat until you can stop eating meat, if that's what you want to do.
Okay, wean yourself off. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, now you can get like oyster mushrooms. If you season them the right way, it tastes like fish or it tastes like chicken. Oyster mushrooms can make a meal really different and have you thinking that, or either a banana blossom dipped in the right batter tastes like catfish. People use jackfruit to substitute for the meat that they make in a taco. I've never been one to get the meat substitutes. personally, I don't miss meat. My husband misses meat. So
Yeah.
have to try and make something that gives him what he's looking for, or what, what he's missing, or he'll go
Yeah.
out and get some lemon pepper wet extra crispy from somewhere.
Hey, let's talk about it. Because you can't just like think about yourself. You have the whole family, you know what I mean?
Yes, especially if you have a family, and if you have children, you have to ease them into that change unless they were born into that change. Like my grandson that I was telling you about, he wasn't born into that. He slowly made that change when his mom and his stepfather got married.
Okay.
He slowly made that change. Now, my daughter and her husband, they have a daughter who's never had meat. And she probably won't have meat until she decides that she wants to try meat.
I know healthy eating can be expensive. So let's talk about the cost. How much, or do you spend a lot of money?
I wouldn't say I spend a lot of money. I think that I spend less money because I'm a fruit and vegetable, herbs and spices kind of person versus going to get the meat substitutes. Anything that you get that's going to give you some substitution is going to cost.
Got it. Yeah.
So if you're going out and you're buying those Gardein sausage patties that are supposed to be all vegetable, or I think you can get Beyond Meat in the grocer now. Those have a price on them, so you're gonna find that you're gonna spend as much money. You're gonna probably spend the same amount of money buying those things as you would if you were actually buying meat. So for me, I don't miss meat, and it surprises me that I don't miss meat because I always loved a good fried chicken.
Yeah.
But once I let it go, I think I actually lost the taste for it. I don't miss it. I really don't. And sometimes when I smell it, the smell of it makes me nauseous. And that surprised me the first time that, I got a whiff of, and I live across the street from a chicken place that they put it on the smoker. It always smells so good. But the closer that I get to the restaurant, I feel that nauseous kind of feeling, like, it's too much. It's like somebody wearing too much cologne.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like somebody wearing too much cologne.
And that's really good. I think you also kind of change your mind because you know how you want to feel. It comes to a point where you gotta say enough is enough.
That's true. And I also see the changes. Like I had really dark spots on my skin, like on my face, like. And I thought that, maybe that's just part of my family, because my mom had those dark spots on her face, and I look at her sister and, and my aunts that, they all have that darkness to their skin in a certain area.
Yeah.
But when I started making the changes, all of that disappeared. It went away. It's slowly clearing up. And I've never been that person to have acne, even as a teenager. You get your cycle and your acne comes at a certain time. But as I got older, I could see those dark marks coming, just like I could see in, other women in my family. And when I started to make that change in my life, it went away.
Yeah, and people have to know that everything is not hereditary. You know what I mean? Like, you can try to make change. I mean, you may or may not get something that your mom had, your grandma had. I think if you have put the effort forward to work out, drink water, and be intentional about your own healthy living, I mean, I think, you have a greater chance of not getting those chronic diseases.
I totally agree. Sometimes you'll have a slip up but you don't get down on yourself. You don't talk down to yourself like, oh, I can't do this, I'll never do it. You just start over. Every night we go to sleep and every morning we wake up is a new beginning. So anything that you do that you know you can change is a new beginning. You know, I watch you do your videos with, you know, working out lately. And like, I haven't been working out as much as I used to because I've been working more to grow my business and on my 9 to 5 to keep, you know, my income coming in. So yeah, I've been able to, and working out clears your mind.
I'm telling you, and it's so funny. Last year, I saw your video of you jumping rope. And that's what got me started. Like, I've always been like kind of sort of active. You know, I did track in high school. I kind of fell off in college, gained my freshman 50. And then, you know, I was in the military, and then I worked out in the military. But then when I got out of the military, I was going to school, so I just kept eating, you know, like, and then I saw your video. It was crazy how it was like last year. And I was just like, wow, I haven't jumped rope in a long time. So, and then I did it, and it was just like, it felt so good. I bought a rope, and like, so you helped me to like say like, all right, Ken, get yourself together, you know? So like, I appreciate that.
I actually had taken 30 days off of my job when I did that video. My Uncle Mason passed away of cancer. And my Aunt Betty, you know, she's my favorite. And I needed to go and be with her to help her kind of make that adjustment of him not being there. So he passed away in June, and I went to her in October so that I could help her or be there for her when she started to go through his thing. I knew that she was going to fight some depression with that because they had been together since she was 20 years old and she's 72 now.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I wanted to be with her to do as much as I possibly could for her. She's used to being where she is. I actually moved them from California to South Carolina so that they could be closer to family. She was already going through her depressive state because they lost their only son in 2016. So you have to be mindful of people that are going through things.
Exactly.
And try to be there for them in the best way possible. Now, of course, I tried to get her to make some eating habit changes and drink more water and things like that. And she's like, okay, baby girl. Now that I'm not there, she's doing exactly what she wants to do. I'll say that the generations change. Like now you see that so many people are, you know, going vegan or
you
know, vegetarian or
gluten-free diets.
Right. And then there's so many of us that are allergic to certain foods now, which it didn't used to be that way. I remember when you could go to the grocery store and just buy your produce and it was all in one, you know, place, but there was no label. It didn't say, you know, apples, and then on this side it says organic apples. Everything was organic. You know, now you have to be careful about what you buy and sometimes even where you buy it from. I'm not a person that buys organic all the time because now organic can cost more than, you know, how do you say that? Just regular.
Yeah.
Organic apple can cost more than just apple.
I know.
They look the same, so what is the difference? But then you look at that regular apple and it has that waxy coating on it, where that organic apple has nothing. It's dull. It's not a shiny apple because the apple's not supposed to be shiny. The wax is put on the apple to help preserve the apple so that the apple doesn't deteriorate. to fast, and it can be sold
Oh, okay.
without it going bad.
Everything goes back to making money too.
True.
So yeah. Okay, that makes sense though.
True.
Yeah. So what advice can you give someone who is used to eating out every day, but is looking to change their diet or something? What advice can you give somebody who wants to incorporate healthy eating in their life?
I would say for that person who's used to eating out every day to start cutting back on eating out every day. Instead of eating out 7 days a week, only eat out 4 days a week, every other day. And that day that you don't eat out, prepare a meal that you know how to prepare, or learn to prepare something new that you've always wanted to try.
And the thing is, once you actually make that meal, you might say, "Oh, I have leftovers." You end up going out. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Right. And then you find sometimes that you can go to, like, I'll go to a restaurant just to try the meal to see what it tastes like and come home and reproduce it. Worth the money that you spent for the eat out meal, so that you know what to do to go home to make that meal for yourself.
What projects do you have going on, or do you have any projects going on?
Right now I am my website for my business is up. I'm making cleanse, detox. I make soap and candles. So
nice.
Once you start to detox your body from the inside, you've got to start to look at what you're putting on the outside. Lotions contain chemicals. Deodorants contain chemicals. I've even changed my fingernail polish. Those things absorb into the body. Our skin is the largest organ, and once it touches the skin, it goes straight to the bloodstream. I stopped using dye. I used to dye my hair, used to be dyed like all kind of color, because that goes straight to the brain.
Geez, it's like you got to think about everything.
Yeah, it goes straight to the brain. Once you decide to make a change, you have to make an overall change. You don't want to be putting good things inside and then you're still putting bad things on the outside that are absorbing into the body anyway.
Do you ship nationwide, or is it just in your area?
I ship nationwide.
Okay, nice. All right,
I ship nationwide.
Perfect. Okay.
Along with that, I'm working on a ebook for some soups and smoothies for those people who may want to do some fasting, and they want to try a liquid fast. So I figure this way it'll make it a little easier for them, that you don't have to put a whole lot of thought into, oh my God, what do I cook, or what do I make? And I also think that I'm going to do one to show people how to make their own soap. Like, we spend a lot of money on soap. There are ingredients in that soap that, why does it have titanium dioxide in it? Like,
yeah.
As my granddaughter would say, for why? I'm working on some things.
Nice.
And I'm in a place now, Candace, where I never thought I would be. Like, I grew up watching my mom make soap.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, but it was like, it wasn't the way that I did it. Like with African, everybody knows the African black soap. So with the African black soap, they take burnt plantain leaves to make the soap. So when you have those ashes and you add water, you actually make an acid that helps you to make the soap when you mix it with oils. Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
And those, that acidicness will cook out of the soap so that it doesn't burn your body. So it's completely gone once, you use the soap, and in your shower or your bath. But yeah, I just never thought that I would be where I am now, truly.
Yeah, I know it feels good too. Being able to do it for yourself and help others too. I know it feels good.
It really does. And I pray that, you know, my mom can see that I was listening, even when you think I was listening. You didn't think I was listening. Like, most grow up on a cold sweet tea. We were hot tea people. I love a hot tea. My kids love a hot tea. And I remember being on the farm, and there was an area that the cows would go to graze, and it was full of clover. I didn't know that it was red clover, which is what I drink a tea of red clover. And red clover is very nutritive for the body. It's a blood cleanser. It's overall really good for anybody.
And that's all cows. You know what I mean? They just eat grass, and you know, and they're like built. You know, they're not like looking famished or anything. So you know that you can be, you know, be a vegetarian or vegan and be okay.
Right.
Nice. And all this information, I'm just excited for people to hear about it, and hopefully they want to hop on and even connect with you to learn more about healthy eating, or just taking a small step to get started. I'm going to put all your information in the caption so people can connect with you. And thank you so much all for listening. And please stay tuned for part 2 of this discussion, where Angela and I will have an IG Live discussing how and what herbal medicines could benefit your health. Thanks so much, and stay tuned.